Call the spaceships to Davenport, prepare for a day of anarchy, and interface with a couch in space. It's Space Couch, once again coming to you from space. And not only are we coming to you from space, but we are coming courtesy of our advertisers. So let's talk about them. Put a little space gas in the space tank. Even though it's not a tank, it's a couch. But the advertiser is Liger Hawk Records. You want to check out 8-Bit Panda Strike's brutal new parody, Hey There, Brianna. The new album from James Netterwald. It's called The New Album. You also want to get the new +3 Tentacle Knife from 8-Bit Panda Strike. It might be my favorite 8-Bit Panda. Decade Decoded, reissued on Ligerhawk from James Netterworld. New signing Invictus, self-titled EP. This is awesome. Interfaced from the amazing Dot Exorcist. Oi bruv, throw me in the Brin from Dot Exorcist. Then we have Enter the Octagon, the first compilation from Liger Hawk Records. Check that out. It's free strongification of Trent Reznor from Dot Exorcist. And also we are brought to you by... It's okay. No, I hit the wrong button. We're gonna crash into the sun now. But we are brought to you by Super 7, the amazing toy company. Oh, it's my favorite. If you decide that you need some action figures in your life, and you do, I would highly recommend going to super7.com/spacecouchshow as one word. That's super7.com/spacecouchshow. I'm always getting stuff from them. This is what I recently got. They made an action figure out of the troll statue on the original player's handbook from Dungeons and Dragons. He's holding up the bowl and everything. You can take out one of his eyes like the cover. It's such a great idea. The figure's gorgeous. Even if you aren't a D&D maniac, it's worth picking up because it's such a great piece. But for the D&D peoples, you cannot go wrong. Perhaps you want to pick that up at super7.com/spacecouchshow. Okay, that's enough of that because I screwed up time zones and I made our guest wait a little bit, but he's been very gracious, and we're gonna hack the Gibson, man, because ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Michael Lee, aka Lou Cypher from Cypher. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, no, that I was all caught up in that tour. I remember that like it was yesterday.
Awesome! Oh, the figure's really good. The fact that they made one of the eyes removable, like the thieves prying it out on the cover.
Nice.
It was so cool.
And you don't see people think like that in the toy world anymore. Toys have gotten real shitty.
It's just the same boilerplate, like swap out the new Marvel hero, but like not at super7.com. Well, speaking of unswappable things, we got to get into the amazing uniqueness that is you, and we'll do that with the... Sorry. No, it's all good. We are on a knife edge of terror out here in space, so like we might create out of the sun because I keep hitting the wrong buttons. But we are going.
I haven't had a tan in years.
Perfect. Perhaps we can do that with the blazing glory of this new title graphic we got for Describe Your Vibe. So in 2024. What is Cypher?
Essentially dead in the water.
Okay, because I was
Not
going to
dead in
ask
the water.
that.
I shouldn't say it that way. So we're confronted with a couple of health issues. I mean, let's face it. Jay and I are not young.
You're right.
We're both in our 50s, and there's only so many times you can jump around a stage yelling "punch a fucking Nazi in the head." And I've been writing the next Cypher album, which we've had earmarked on our personal record label as number 660, release 666, with the tentative title of "Fuck It, We Quit." But I've been writing that album now for about 4 years.
4 years. Well, let's set the table a little bit. So, for the listener, Cypher is would you call yourself industrial rock? Not to be that plastic about it, but like
it's not plastic. It's sadly what we became.
Okay.
We were what I described as slam poetry set to music.
Oh, that's pretty awesome.
Our first album was recorded on a cell phone. I sat up one night smoking a ridiculous amount of pot. And I wrote this record about a guy sitting in a room wanting to kill himself.
Okay.
Whether or not that's the situation that was going on is a tale for another day. But and it was written as poems, and I recorded them all and just sent them to Jay.
Wow.
Jay
is your writing partner?
Yes.
Okay.
He's the other member of the band. I hadn't seen Jay at that point in almost 10, 15 years. I just had an urge to send it to him, and he took it all and he set it to music, and we went back and forth over the computer and cell phones for about 3 months, and what came out of it was Overthought, which I think is our best work ever. It's what I'm proudest of. And
that is an amazing origin story.
Since it started, we've done other albums, but we got sucked into the world of industrial music. But the world of industrial music now isn't the world of industrial music that we grew up in.
Totally. Well, we'll cut in Glass House here just for the listener.
That works.
Falling on your own self-righteous knife. Inside your glass house. Never thought to what it's all about.
Boom, edit point, and right back in. So industrial then is not industrial now, you were saying?
No. When we were growing up and I started listening to industrial and DJing, you had bands like Throbbing Gristle and Skinny Puppy and, Switchblade Symphony. I don't know if they were really industrial. They may be more goth or
close enough.
Whatever. KMFDM. KMFDM did their first show with a bunch of shop vacs filled with different shit on a stage and turned them on and yelled. On our second album, we covered a Kraftwerk tune. I'm always going to screw this up. Hall of Mirrors.
Yeah.
And I really dug that album, but it got into the heavy, and really introduced what people have come to call the Cypher yell. On songs like Breathe and what the hell was the name of that song? God Thing was the one, and that was the one that when we play it live, everybody really got into it, and I think it kind of went to my head. And then I met Ryan Clark, who owned Electric Bat Records, and he saw something in us that I wanted people to see with the first record, and that's that music isn't about being safe.
Yeah, hell yeah.
as you know, I've recently been on a real big pout fest that there's a problematic bands list, and I'm not fucking on it.
Well, I'm on it, so you know.
I know you write songs about fucking otters and guys playing hockey. I write songs that literally have executions from North Korea in the song, like literally audio of people getting fucking shot. And I'm not problematic, but you write a song about a fucking otter and you're an issue. Give me a break.
Okay, so you got you got homework there, Space Council audience. We got to put Cypher on the problematic bands list.
Because at the end of the day, if your band's not problematic, what the fuck are you making music
Absolutely.
for? And Ryan came to me and he said, I want you to sign with my label. Now, if you were a kid growing up in the 80s, a record label wanting you to sign with them,
unreal,
was the shit.
Yeah.
Right? And I had even tried to start my own label at the age of 16 and it just didn't fly. So we signed with Ryan and I mean, here we are now. Keep in mind, Jay and I are fuck ups. Okay. There is nothing we do right.
Okay.
If it is traditional music and the way you're supposed to do it, we fucked it up.
Okay.
Okay. We just fucked it up. Our first live show, we were going to do a cover of the Dixie Chicks. We were going to do Goodbye Earl by the Dixie Chicks because I think it's actually a fucking important song because it's a dangerous song. And Jay wrote this absolutely goofy country and western industrial beat that he played it, and we were about 3 seconds into it, and I'm like, we're not doing this cover. Sorry, guys. But the point was, we never rehearsed. Our songs were written in one take. The only thing that we ever took extra takes on was covers.
Okay.
And I'm obsessed with cover tunes. I love reimagining songs I love. And if you can add something to them, and just give them that little bit of you, it's a lot of fun. I mean, we've done a lot of them. We were on Biles, one of Biles' tribute albums.
Oh, cool.
I mean, that's an honor to me because fucking I'll never forget the movie Strangeland, the scene where Biles on stage and the guy's like, pretty girl with a gun, you know.
Yeah,
and you're just like, oh, I love these fucking psychopaths, so I want to be them. So I forgot what it was like to write an album I was proud of.
Wow, that's gotta be heavy.
So we got to realpolitik, which is my political stance, and that's government by logic and reason.
Totally.
And Ryan's like, write the album and make it dangerous. Okay. So I was at a Blue Jays game. And
you're in Canada for the listener.
I'm in Canada. I'm in New Brunswick, but I was in Ontario. So I went to Toronto to a Blue Jays game, and the crowd's there chanting, "Let's go Blue Jays." And I'm thinking, that's cool. And it had this really cool cadence to it. Let's go Blue Jays. And I'm like, that's really cool. So 3 or 4 days later, the band Scrape, one of our label mates who I love, Eric and his wife, and Scrape is a legend in true industrial music. And I'm not talking about that watered down shit that Noctmar and them do. Fuck them. I'm talking about, straight up creative industrial music with that growly voice.
Yeah.
And that's Scrape. So here I am. And at the time I was still searching for my gimmick. And, we had the 2 records out. We never played anything off Overthought because nobody ever got it except for, a couple of songs that would get played now and then, but not very often. And that night we were just being heavy, and we had made up these Electric Bat t-shirts, and we were all, announcing that we were with the label. And I start the show by chanting, "Let's go Blue Jays." and suddenly in the middle of all this chanting, all I think to myself is, "Punch a Nazi." Hey, there it is. And I got the crowd chanting it, and I looked back at Jay, and Jay looked at me, and we both looked over at Ryan, and Ryan just looked and flipped us the bird because he knew what we had done.
Nice.
So then we sent him realpolitik, and it was a very left-wing album.
Okay.
Very left-wing. Empire of Hate, media horror, songs about, listening to the things leadership says. As I said, right down to the last track on the album, which I got hit in the head with a 250-pound block of ice a couple of years ago.
Whoa!
So when I hear my own music now, I think to myself, wow, who the fuck wrote this? I don't remember most of it. But we wrote this track, and it's the last song on that album. And the intro to the song was these two North Korean men being executed for making a phone call.
Yeah.
And to find that on YouTube, first off, disgusted my inner being just a little bit. And at the time, we had really offended a lot of people in Sudbury because I had decided I was going to do a show and tell as many dick jokes as I could in an hour. Yeah, it didn't go well. It went bad. We got banned and all sorts of shit. But anyway, so we sit down and Ryan, we owe Ryan 2 more records because that's how life works when you sign with a record deal. And he lets us know, well, you guys don't have to give me those records. I'm closing down the label for whatever reason he had. And God bless the man. He's one of my best friends to this day.
Oh, nice.
And then the song you just played is off an album that we tried to get ourselves canceled. Okay.
It's not fun.
We didn't know that at the time.
Okay.
But we figured we had written an anti-right-wing album, and Jay is a lot more left-wing leaning than I am.
Okay.
Okay. I don't identify with a political group. I think it's stupid. I don't define people by different categories. That's dumb.
Word.
So I wrote an album cautioning people about the way the world is going, and it was called Criminal Opinion, A Cautionary Tale. And it was a concept record about this world that we had written about before where, all logic and reason had gone completely out the fucking window, and we were being run by complete moral structure. You had catchy songs on it like The Thought Police and things like that. But then Glass House, we released that as our first single, and the B-side on that single was a cover we did of Dear God by XTC. And at that time, Jay and I had made the incredibly shitty decision to add guitar and bass.
You think that was a bad call?
It was terrible.
Why?
It was the worst call we'd ever made.
Why?
I think part of it was because along with guitar and bass comes guitar and bass players. And guitar and bass players can come with substance abuse problems.
Whoa, okay. Didn't see that coming.
And I'm 17 years clean from a painkiller addiction.
Okay.
So I don't want to be around the meth and the coke and
no, I hear you.
I don't want any of that bullshit around me. Like, if that's what you want to do, there's the fucking door. Use it. I'm not here to tell you how to live your fucking life. If you want to do drugs, do drugs. Just don't do them around me.
Right.
I don't want them near me. And for the most part, the guys were super respectful and kept to that. But at the time, we added a bass player who was also a rapper.
Okay.
And I had gotten bit by a resurgence of my inner juggalo at that time.
Okay.
I started literally wearing clown makeup on stage.
All right.
We did a cover of Insane Clown Posse's Hall of Illusion on one of our records. I started writing more to that style of lyric because I wanted the message to hit home. And that fell about as heavy as a lead balloon. It was a shit show.
Okay.
That whole album was a shit show.
Just didn't
the
work.
videos off it. I mean, Glass House was a great song, but everybody got offended because of the line, "What is the trigger that sets you off today?"
Mm-hmm.
What is the new game you want to play? Like, I can't comprehend this world where a musician can't fucking say what they want to say.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is art. We are the jesters. We're the bards. We're the tellers of truth. And that's my truth, but your truth may be different, and I can't stop you from telling that. And that's what's taken so long to write this record. So there's between the brain damage, which really sucks because I used to have a pretty good memory. And I was diagnosed with COPD a couple months back, but that's not stopping me. It just means I got to make the yellow shorter. But I mean, I've written probably 800 songs for this album.
800?
And none, probably. And not a single one of them resonates with me.
And you're just not feeling it.
Nothing I'm writing is hitting home. I mean, I had some crazy experiences over the years, and it's real hard to write your truth when you realize that your truth's a fucking lie. You know, that what you grew up with was always a lie. And that's kind of where I sit. You know, we grew up thinking one way, and then everything we did is undone in a 4-year period. I mean, I'm from Gen X, man. Censorship. You tried to censor someone, you got shot.
Right.
You know, we're the original fuck around and find out generation.
Right.
And when I see things, and like I messaged you the other day, when I see things like good people being persecuted over stupid shit, it pisses me off. So, you know, you did your crime is what? You read a fucking newspaper? Ass. That's my white ass, you know.
So is it this constant sort of redefining of truth that's I'm not quite grasping where the
it's hard to preach to it. It's hard when I moved in where I am now with my partner. I started writing this record. I had just released my only solo album, which sold less copies than ICP's first album, which was 17, by the way. I had released an entire line of merch. I think I sold 1 blanket, 1 shirt, and 2 coffee cups. I own a lot of Lewis Cyphier shirts. And I wrote this album from the heart.
Okay.
And it's got some of the best lyrical work I've ever done on it.
Oh, wow.
I think so. I mean, you
got 800 chances, right?
And well, this was written 4 years ago and released during the COVID pandemic. I challenged myself. I was going to do an entire record from start to end of production in 24 hours.
Whoa. Okay.
And I sure the fuck did. And it's some of the best lyrical work I've done. Maybe it's being overtired. Maybe it was the fact that I drank so much Red Bull I didn't know what day it was. Maybe it's the fact that I smoked 2 ounces of pot that night. I don't know. But when I listen back to that record, it speaks to me.
Cool.
But I realized it only speaks to me. It doesn't speak to anybody else. Nobody else can relate to it because it's my experiences, right? And I had a conversation with my partner and I said, I owe the fans a record. And she said to me, and it's the thing that's really kind of made me think about it. You don't owe the fans shit. They paid their fucking money. They got the records that you got. You put on shows. They bought their tickets. The exchange of goods and services completed. You don't owe shit. As an artist, you don't owe your fans fuck.
Interesting. Okay.
So suddenly I started to realize if I'm going to put out a record, I'm not just putting out a record to put out a record. If I'm going to put out a record and it's going to be my last record, it's going to be my truth.
Okay.
It's going to be Jay's truth. But in order to do that, I have to reach the point where I understand what that truth is.
Wow. So this is almost like a narrative if it ever comes out.
It's always been that way.
Okay.
Everything Cypher's done has been that way.
Okay.
We tried one album where we weren't direct about what we were saying, and the album flopped on its fucking face like a lead balloon because nobody wants to go see a Cypher show and hear metaphors.
Okay.
You know, I used to hate being in nature. Now I live in a 100-acre forest. You know, music did okay by me. But while I live in the 100-acre woods, sometimes I feel like Winnie the Pooh. I feel like a bear of very little brain, because I can't comprehend the world around me.
Okay.
I don't belong in this world. We don't belong in this world. My whole generation doesn't belong in this world. This is a world run by computers and technology. Our generation is run by punching each other in the head, drinking beer, and riding bicycles around to find your buddy. And when you went through that technology boom, and here I am, I'm a guy going, yeah, we never should have added traditional instruments. Fuck traditional instruments. Computers are the way to go. When I sat down and I listened to, I don't even know what the fucking song's called. It's terrible. It's got a voice that sounds like Chad Kroger's in it. It's like nails on a chalkboard. That it starts out and the guy's like, damn, fucking insane. Like, first off, if you have to change the way a word sounds to make it rhyme, you're Eminem trying to do accents. I'm not interested anymore.
That was cited in the Gothical song English license, but sorry, go ahead.
You fucking want you want to use a computer to write music? Did you not see Terminator?
You're talking about AI now.
Yeah, okay. It's all of it. Like, what's the fucking point in sitting down and putting pen to paper anymore when some idiot's going to pump your name into a computer and your voice is going to be in their song anyways?
It is a whole new world, or we are on the cusp of it.
I think so, yeah.
Speaking of worlds and computers, I want to totally pivot because I want to get to this because we were talking a little bit before the show. I asked you what your interests were outside of music, and you said Minecraft and equality, which is just a lot of range. Let's start with Minecraft. What are you working on?
Well, right now I'm digging a big fucking hole. I have my kids got me into Minecraft because if I wanted to do anything with my TV, I better know how to play fucking Minecraft. So I got into it, and of course, if you don't have kids, you don't understand it. But when a kid asks you to build them something on their video game, you're building it. It doesn't matter what it is. One of the projects I've been working on right now is a massive turtle that they can walk in its mouth and get transported down 64 levels to where their little base is.
Palatial.
Because I built their mom a door with 4 light blocks around it that said VIP entrance on a wood sign. So theirs has to be one better. You know what I mean? So, I've been working on that, but I've got my own game, and really what I'm working on with it is I'm just trying to learn it. What I love about it is I'm autistic, so it's very organized. It's very by the book. It's a video game that I can get behind because the educational value of that game is boundless.
Okay.
When you can make a computer that works inside a computer game.
Whoa.
I've seen them. I can't do it. But for people that, I hear these guys and they're like, wow, I've been doing this for 15 years because the game just turned 15 or whatever it is.
Is it really? Okay, yeah.
I've been doing this for 15 years and we can make computers and all this, and I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, when I was a kid, man, I could make a little man jump up and down and say hi, and I thought I was fucking cool. And the mentality behind it, I tried playing Ark Survival Evolved, and I enjoyed the dino breeding and all that crap a little bit, but I just found it was like anything else. It was just a big murder fest, and that doesn't, even though I come from a time where that was fun, and I'm an old juggalo. I don't want that in my video games. I want my video game to be Pac-Man and Donkey Kong and Mario Brothers, and I don't know, that to me, nothing that I've seen in the last 20 years replaces going to Mother's Pizza to have a pizza and sitting at that table where you put the quarter in the side and got to play Miss Pac-Man while you're eating
buddy.
That nothing compares to it. Or the first time you went to an arcade full of smoke and people shooting pool, and
right.
you're 12 years old going, yeah, man, I'm with the bad boys now. Of course, that's how we all
just
ended up, being
figuring out
complete
who was going
fuck-ups
to
in life.
select
But
in Street Fighter.
yeah,
Well, go on.
it's a different world. And I think that the only game that I've found on the market today that I think, other than the phone game Clash Royale, but don't get me talking about it, I'll never shut up about it. But the only game that I found that's held my interest for more than a couple of weeks has been Minecraft, and I'm really surprised when I see that. So
I love that your kids wants you to build stuff in the virtual world too.
Oh, I want to do a YouTube channel. I do. I think I'm going to do it. Like I keep saying I'm going to do it, and then I never get around to doing it, but it's something I got to do. I want to do a YouTube channel for dads that have to play Minecraft with their fucking kids.
It's a great market, man.
I can explain to them exactly how much pot you should smoke before a family
insider
game
information.
And I think that it's cool, but it is what it is. It's a lot of people are going to go, wow, I watched some 50-year-old dude go on and on about Minecraft today. My life's fucking that. Yes, it is. You're watching this with us, okay?
Well,
get over
it. You are watching Space Couch right now, and it is. I think we should do some features. We'll start with everybody's favorite radiation round. Called that because lightning is exceedingly rare in space, but it's essentially a lightning round. No wrong answers. Coffee or tea? Coffee. Commodore 64, Amiga, or original Nintendo?
No right answer to that one. In television.
Love it. And what's the easiest way for a Canadian to spot an American?
They're the one drunk at the party.
The one drunk at the party. I love it. So from the top, that's coffee, in television, and the one drunk at the party. And now we will get into hypothetical spectacle. That's where we get like weird and come up with a weird hypothesis.
I'm in.
So there's a couple stock questions that we have here on Space Couch, and I want to ask this one because I'm very curious to know what the musical influences of Cyphier might be. So the premise is that 4 of your musical influences have decided to rob a bank, right? So I need to know who's going to be the getaway car driver, the smooth operator, like the face man who goes to talk to the bank teller or whatever, the high-tech guy in the van, like hacking the cameras and stuff, and the old-school safe cracker with like the stethoscope. So that's getaway car driver, smooth operator, high-tech guy, and safe cracker.
All right. Let's see. The safe cracker. I'm going to go with my partner in crime, Jay. I don't know a smarter human. I don't know a smarter human being on the planet. If I need someone to crack a safe, it's him, man.
I love it.
Your smooth operator, I mean, that's got to be, I think his name is, my brain's going to fail me here. I got to go with Jeff Martin from the Tea Party.
Okay.
That man's voice is, he once said in a concert, do you know what absolute power sounds like? Sure fucking do now, Jeff. Thanks.
Awesome.
Let's see. Who else do we have?
Getaway car and high tech.
The getaway car driver. Oh, wow. That's a tough one. Okay, so I'm going to go with someone outside the musical influence. Is that possible? Am I allowed to answer that?
You can do whatever you want in space. There's no rules, man.
Darby Allin from AEW Wrestling.
Love it. I love it.
If I'm getting
today,
I'm wearing my Edge shirt actually.
I love it.
If I'm gonna get in a car with someone and they're gonna be driving really fast, I want it to be the guy that got hit by a New York City bus on his way to climb fucking Mount Everest and ended up in a fucking hardcore match a week later. True story. So that's the guy that's driving my getaway car.
Fuck yeah, that's a good answer.
And then now we've got the old. No, we got the old school. No, that was the old school.
That's Jay. The high tech guy in the chair, like hacking the cameras.
Oh, the hacker dude. Well, I got to go with like probably my one of my biggest influences in music, and that's Ramel from Raised in Black.
Perfect answer.
The man is not only looks the part; he is just the cutest human being you'll ever see.
Gorgeous.
Oh, he's beautiful. Like shit. If there's ever a pretty man on the planet, it wasn't David Bowie. It wasn't that dude that tried to play Lestat in that movie. It was fucking Rommel. And
we played
shame
with
on
them
you if
once
you
in
haven't
a
seen it.
college cafeteria. It was the weirdest show ever.
I've never played with them, but I did smoke pot with them once.
I think you probably had the better experience. So that was Darby from AEW Wrestling driving the getaway car. The Tea Party for the Face Man. High Tech is Raised in Black's for Mel. And Jay from our very own Cypher cracking the safes. I have a question here. What's next for the Mighty Cypher? But we sort of got into that with the album that you're 800 songs deep on. But what?
In the band, for the band, that's what's next. From a personal level, I'm working on a spoken word right now.
Oh, so, cool.
Well, you brought up my second interest, equality, and since we as human beings can't fucking do that right, I thought I'd do a record about it.
So, is that just like a what are you looking, like a 10-track album or something?
Well, it might be tracks. It might be a stream of consciousness.
Oh, really? Okay.
I have the topics that I want to cover written down.
Mm-hmm.
The target audience I want to target with it has already been kind of calculated, and I've had my mystical algorithms, which is I throw a dart at a map and hopefully hit a country that I speak the language of. But no, I think that I don't know if it's going to be 10 tracks or if it's going to be a stream of consciousness. It's something I'm actually the headset I bought that I'm talking to you on, I literally bought to record it. It's something I'm planning on sitting down over the next week or so and doing. But really, honestly, it's going to be two topics. One is, shut the fuck up. You don't understand equality if you're telling someone else how to think. End of discussion. Straight there. And two, I want to include a guide for men on now not to be creepy dickheads.
Okay.
Like, I got into this relationship with my partner, and she let me see behind the curtain. Most women don't.
Mm-hmm.
She let me see shitty messages she gets every day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't touch her phone. I don't go in her purse. I don't you want to talk to me, do what you want. I don't care. If you're going to lie to me, you're going to lie to me, whether or not I see it on your phone. Right. I don't really give a shit. That's your private area. What I care about is, are you being treated with respect by the people that you interact with? Because I treat you with respect. I hope that they do.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really, I just want to write. I want to say that, I hear it all the time. Why don't men ever speak up? We do. You don't fucking listen.
So for the audience,
to tell you for years.
Should we look for that? Like, look up Louis Cypher on Facebook, or where are you going to put that, you think?
Oh, it'll show up on Bandcamp, and it'll be like, I have another project that we don't talk about, called Antisocial Network, which is me just shitting all over the concept of music in general, even making noise music sound bad. I have one religious fan, thank you, Ryan Clark. And he buys it because I make him. But no, seriously, it'll show up on Bandcamp one day on the Louis Cypher page.
That's Cypher and then the number 1.bandcamp.com for it.
Yeah, it'll just show up.
All right,
and
cool.
I don't believe in fanfare and promotion. I did all that bullshit. People that want to find the truth will find it. Those who don't, well, they can go on living their life in happy, blissful ignorance, and I don't care.
Well, amazing. That's your out. I am on a rogue flight path out here in space, and we're going to bring this flying couch back on into the station. So what we learned today, there's not only is there a ginormous maybe Cypher album in the works, but there's a spoken word album, maybe release of some fashion in the works. American,
possibly a YouTube channel
coming up. Raised in Black is definitely the hacker in the van, and we have Darby would make an amazing getaway car driver. Not that anyone should ever rob a bank, and
No, Rob
Minecraft.
Banks. That's fine.
What's that?
No, Rob Banks. That's
Rob
the capitalistic
Banks.
bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, whatever you got to do, man, survive.
In this economy, go ahead and rob a bank. Pick up some new Cypher albums, or maybe if they're coming out,
Or don't.
cypher1.bandcamp.com.
You know what you can do, so you can go and buy the back catalog so you can hear the albums that we did beforehand.
There you go. That's what we'll do.
Just saying.
So this is...
I would say go buy the Overthought record because nobody did, and they missed out on a great piece of music.
There you go. That's the insider information, everybody. Overthought is the one to get. This is Brian for Space Couch for Michael / Louis Cypher of Cypher saying, call the spaceships to Davenport, prepare for anarchy, and interface with a couch in space. Space Couch. Oh no, calamity.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go. I got it. Sometimes my space controller magic. Yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. I would definitely encourage that YouTube channel. It sounds like you've got a lot of amazing ideas. Wow.